Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a phenomenon that honestly, it still gives me chills sometimes, the Mandela Effect. It's about these, widespread shared false memories, where lots of people vividly recall things that, well, actually never happened or are just different from the record.
Right.
Our mission today is really to understand why this happens and to explore those really intriguing, maybe speculative links to quantum mechanics versus the, let's say, more grounded psychological takes.
Exactly. We're aiming for, the sober truth in this deep dive, trying to distinguish between these compelling ideas and what the actual evidence robustly supports.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating is how our minds and even, physics get pulled into this whole mystery.
Okay, let's get into it with some classic examples. I mean, I've definitely had my own Mandela moments. I swear I remember the old Fruit of the Loom logo having a cornucopia. Turns out, nope, never did. It's kind of wild how sure you can be about something that just isn't true.
It really is.
And people recall Berenstain Bears as Berenstain Bears, or that famous Star Wars line. Everyone quotes, "Luke, I am your father."
Right. When Vader actually says, "No, I am your father, no Luke."
Exactly. And maybe the biggest one, the Monopoly Man. So many people remember him with a monocle.
But he never wore one in any official depiction.
Never. And that consistency, that's what's really baffling, isn't it? If memory is personal, why do so many people share the exact same wrong memory?
That is the million-dollar question, yeah. And it leads us straight into cognitive psychology.
Okay.
So the main scientific explanation emphasizes that human memory, it's reconstructive. It's not like a perfect video recorder.
Sure.
It's not like people are lying. Their brains are genuinely trying to build a coherent story, sometimes inventing bits to fill gaps.
So just filling in the blanks.
Pretty much. Key mechanisms here are things like false memories, recollections you genuinely believe, but they're partly or totally wrong, maybe influenced by stuff you heard later. Then there's confabulation. That's the brain unconsciously filling memory gaps with details that seem plausible, like the whole Nelson Mandela dying in prison thing back in the 80s.
Wow. Okay.
Schemas and stereotypes play a big part, too. Our minds use these mental shortcuts, right? Frameworks. And they can unconsciously tweak memories to fit patterns.
Ah, like the monocle fitting the image of a rich banker type for Monopoly Man.
Exactly. Or shine being a common suffix, so maybe our brains correct Berenstain. And then, crucially, there's social reinforcement.
The internet effect.
Totally. Information and misinformation spread so fast online, it amplifies and validates these false memories. If everyone online seems to remember it that way, it feels more real, more credible.
So our brains are kind of making educated guesses, using shortcuts, and then we all reinforce each other's mistakes online. That sounds pretty convincing, actually, for the psychology side.
That covers a lot of ground, yeah.
But, I know a lot of people hear that and think, okay, but is that all? They see these shared glitches and wonder if something weirder is going on.
The more out there theories.
Yeah, challenging our idea of, like, one single reality. Maybe links to quantum mechanics. Some people talk about reality shifts, parallel universes.
Right, the glitches in the matrix idea.
Even tying it to quantum computing advancements sometimes.
Yes, and the appeal of quantum physics here is definitely strong, especially the idea of quantum entanglement.
Spooky action at a distance.
That's the one Einstein famously called it. It's where particles get linked, and measuring one instantly affects the other no matter how far apart. It is real, experimentally verified. But first, it doesn't allow faster-than-light communication. And second, while its weirdness feels like a compelling analogy for these shared memory things, it's mostly just that, an analogy.
So it sounds cool, but doesn't really connect directly.
The leap from tiny quantum particles to our big, complex human memories, it's a huge chasm. The analogy is often where the solid science stops, the speculation really begins.
Okay.
And then you get into these quantum mind or quantum consciousness ideas, suggesting quantum effects inside the brain explain consciousness. But these run into a massive scientific roadblock.
Oh, yeah.
The decoherence problem.
Decoherence?
Yeah. Basically, the brain is warm, wet, and noisy. A terrible environment for delicate quantum states. They'd lose their quantum properties or decohere almost instantly. Way, way too fast to be involved in thinking or memory.
So the physics just doesn't seem to work in the brain environment?
Currently, there's no evidence for any mechanism that could protect quantum states long enough in the brain. And it's important not to confuse this with quantum cognition. That's different.
How so?
Quantum cognition uses the math of quantum theory, its structure, to model how we make decisions and judgments, things that sometimes defy classical probability. It doesn't claim the brain is a quantum computer, just that quantum math is a useful modeling tool.
Ah, okay, so it's using the toolkit, not saying the brain is built that way.
Precisely.
All right, so we've looked at the brain's own quirks and memory tricks, and we've touched on these more speculative quantum ideas. Bringing it all together, what's the main takeaway here? Where does the strongest evidence lie?
Well, the overwhelming body of evidence really points to the Mandela Effect being a robust psychological phenomenon. It's best explained by how our memory naturally works. It reconstructs things, it's prone to biases, and it's heavily influenced by social factors, especially now with the internet.
Uh-huh.
Direct links between quantum mechanics and our large-scale memories or consciousness. They remain highly speculative. They face really significant scientific hurdles that, frankly, haven't been overcome.
So this deep dive really hammers home the point. The Mandela Effect isn't just some, quirky internet thing. It's a powerful illustration of how flexible, even unreliable, our memory can be.
Absolutely.
And how much our sense of shared reality is shaped by the stories we tell each other and the narratives that take hold.
And it does raise an interesting question maybe for you listening. When you encounter something that feels like a glitch in reality, a shared memory that doesn't match the facts, why are we often so drawn to extraordinary explanations, like reality shifts or quantum weirdness, even when simpler, well-supported psychological explanations exist? It perhaps speaks to a deep human desire for meaning, for something beyond the ordinary conventional explanation.
Something to definitely think about.